Nick, I need you to look at one sentence before I send this email. I wrote, "The lunch was such good and our campaign is stronger than theirs." Something feels wrong, but I cannot see it.
Good instinct. There are two tiny mistakes in that sentence, and they come from two pairs of words that confuse English learners all the time.
So and such. Then and than.
Exactly. And here is the good news. By the end of this lesson, you will not need to memorize 4 random definitions. You will have 4 clear pictures in your mind: a highlighter, a label, a clock, and a scale.
A highlighter, a label, a clock, and a scale. That sounds much better than another grammar chart.
And we are going to use those pictures in real sentences, fix common mistakes, and finish with an office role play where you have to use all 4 words naturally.
Perfect, because I would really like to send this email today.
Then let us rescue it before your client reads stronger than theirs.
Please do.
Welcome to Slow English Podcast, where we make practical English clear, memorable, and easier to use in real life. I am Nick.
And I am Rosie. Today we are learning so versus such and then versus than.
These words are short, but the jobs they do are very different. The easiest way to separate them is to stop asking, which word looks right? And start asking, what job is this word doing?
So we are choosing by meaning and sentence structure, not by guessing.
Exactly. Let us start with so and such. Rosie, imagine a bright yellow highlighter. You use it to make one description stronger. That is the main job of so in this lesson.
A highlighter for descriptions.
Right. We often use so before an adjective or an adverb.
Give me an adjective example.
The movie was so funny. The adjective is funny. So makes that description stronger.
The coffee is so hot.
Good. Hot is the adjective.
The meeting was so long.
Exactly. Now an adverb. She explained it so clearly. The adverb clearly tells us how she explained it.
He drives so carefully.
Perfect. So the core pattern is simple. So plus adjective or so plus adverb.
Let me try a few. I am so tired. This app is so useful. They worked so quickly.
All natural. Notice something important. So does not mean only emotion. It can intensify many kinds of descriptions: size, speed, difficulty, temperature, quality, feeling, and more.
That is clearer. So is not an emotion word. It is an intensifier that often comes before an adjective or adverb.
Exactly. Keep the highlighter picture, but keep the grammar accurate.
What about so much and so many? There is a noun after those.
Great question. So also works with quantity expressions. We say so much with uncountable nouns and so many with plural countable nouns.
We had so much work today.
Good.
There were so many people at the event.
Exactly. We also say so little time and so few options.
So the useful family is so much, so many, so little, so few.
Yes, those are common patterns worth learning as complete chunks.
Can so also connect to a result?
Absolutely. One of the most useful patterns is so plus adjective or adverb plus that.
Like what?
The movie was so funny that I watched it twice. The first part describes the intensity. The that clause gives the result.
The coffee was so hot that I had to wait 10 minutes.
Perfect.
She spoke so quietly that I could barely hear her.
Excellent. That pattern is extremely common in conversation and writing.
Highlighter first, result second.
Exactly. Now, replace the highlighter with a label. Such points to a noun phrase and says, in effect, this is an impressive, unusual, strong, or notable example of this kind of thing.
So, such is connected to the thing, person, situation, experience, or idea we are naming.
Right. The core pattern is such plus a noun phrase. Often that noun phrase includes an adjective.
It was such a funny movie.
Exactly. Compare the two structures. The movie was so funny. So plus adjective. It was such a funny movie. Such plus adjective plus noun.
Same basic meaning, different structure.
Yes, here is another pair. The day was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful day.
The employees are so professional. They are such professional employees.
Perfect.
What about singular nouns? Do I always need a or an?
With a singular countable noun, we normally use such a or such an.
Such a good idea.
Yes,
Such an interesting story.
exactly. But with plural nouns or uncountable nouns, there is no a or an.
They are such helpful people.
Good.
We had such beautiful weather.
Perfect.
She gave me such useful information.
Exactly. Weather and information are uncountable in those uses, so we do not put a or an before them.
Earlier, I was tempted to say, it is such a hot coffee. Is that okay?
You may hear a coffee when people mean a cup or an order of coffee. But if you simply mean the drink, a more natural sentence is, the coffee is so hot. If you want such with a singular countable noun, say, it is such a hot cup of coffee.
That is much better.
This is why we should not force a grammar pattern into an unnatural sentence just to prove a rule.
Very important.
Such also works with that to show a result.
Like, so that?
Similar meaning, different structure. Listen, it was such a successful launch that our servers almost crashed. Such plus a noun phrase, then that plus the result.
It was such a difficult exam that several students ran out of time.
Excellent.
So I can compare. The exam was so difficult that several students ran out of time. Or, it was such a difficult exam that several students ran out of time.
Exactly. That comparison is worth remembering.
When I am speaking, I do not want to stop and analyze every sentence. Is there a fast decision I can make?
Yes, look at what comes next. If you are intensifying an adjective or adverb, so is usually the choice. If you are introducing a noun phrase, such is usually the choice.
So funny. Such a funny movie.
So expensive. Such an expensive restaurant.
So quickly. Such quick service.
Good. And remember the quantity chunks. So much, so many, so little, so few.
Can we do a quick speed round?
Absolutely. I give you the ending. You choose so or such.
Ready.
Blank, amazing.
So amazing.
Blank, an amazing experience.
Such an amazing experience.
Blank, many emails.
So many emails.
Blank, helpful advice.
Such helpful advice.
Blank, slowly.
So slowly.
Blank, a strange question.
Such a strange question.
Excellent. Your brain is already separating the structures.
Nick, one question. If so means very in many sentences, can I just replace every so with very?
Not always, but that comparison can help. The test was very difficult, and the test was so difficult are both grammatical. So often feels more expressive, especially when the speaker is reacting emotionally or when a result follows.
The test was so difficult that I ran out of time.
Exactly. Very works well as a neutral intensifier. The test was very difficult. So can sound more conversational or emotionally involved. The test was so difficult. And so fits naturally before that when you show a result.
What about such?
Such can also be expressive. Compare. It was a very difficult test. And it was such a difficult test. Both are correct, but such often adds the feeling that the test was an especially strong example of a difficult test.
So I should not think that so and such are simply fancy replacements for very.
Right. Structure comes first. Very difficult and so difficult work directly before an adjective. Such a difficult test introduces a noun phrase.
Let me test one more. She is so patient.
Good.
She is such a patient teacher.
Perfect.
She is very patient.
Also correct. 3 natural sentences, but with slightly different structure and emphasis. Now let us move to then and than. For then, picture a clock or a line of steps. Then often tells us about time, sequence, or what happens next.
First this, then that.
Exactly. First, I checked the report. Then I sent it to my manager.
We had dinner, then we went for a walk.
Good. Then can also mean at that time.
Can you give me an example?
I lived in Chicago in 2019. I was working in finance then. Here, then means at that time.
So it does not always mean the next step. It can point back to a time we already mentioned.
Correct. And there is another common use. If that is the case, then we should leave early. In that structure, then introduces the logical result or next step.
So the big idea is still movement through time or a sequence of thought.
Exactly. For a simple memory picture, keep the clock.
Do you have a spelling trick?
Use meaning first, not a spelling trick. But if you want a small reminder, think, then answers questions like, what happened next? Or, what was true at that time?
That is safer than inventing a letter rule.
Much safer. For tan, picture a scale with 2 sides. Tan introduces the second part of a comparison.
My brother is taller than I am.
Correct, and fairly formal. In everyday American English, my brother is taller than me is also extremely common.
This project is bigger than the last one.
Good.
The new version is easier to use than the old version.
Exactly. Than appears after comparative forms such as better, worse, taller, smaller, more expensive, less complicated, and faster.
This route is faster than the highway.
Good. Than also appears in fixed comparison structures.
Such as?
I would rather stay home than go out.
Ah, rather than.
Yes, and more than, less than, other than, and many similar expressions.
So if 2 things are being compared, the scale should appear in my mind.
Exactly.
I want one emergency test for writing, something I can use before I hit send.
Use this 2-second test. Ask, am I showing what happens next, or am I comparing? If it is next in time or sequence, choose then. If 2 things are being compared, choose than.
The meeting ended, then we went to lunch. What happened next? Then.
Correct.
Lunch was better than I expected. Comparison? Then.
Exactly. Now watch how both words can appear close together. I thought the first restaurant was better than the second, but then we tried the dessert.
Nice. Then compares the restaurants. Then moves the story forward.
Another one. She is more experienced than I am, so I asked her for help. Then we reviewed the report together.
The functions are completely different when I focus on meaning.
That is the key. The spelling is only one letter apart, but the grammar is not.
What about back then?
That is a useful chunk, meaning at that time in the past. For example, I did not work from home back then.
And since then?
Another useful chunk. I changed my study routine last year, and my English has improved a lot since then.
So learning then in chunks helps. And then, back then, since then, until then.
Exactly. And for than, better than, more than, less than, rather than. Chunks reduce hesitation.
Here is what makes these words difficult when I listen. In fast speech, then and than can sound very similar.
True, but it is better not to say they are always identical. When stressed clearly, then is usually pronounced with the vowel in bed, while than can have a clearer vowel or a reduced weak vowel in normal speech.
So context matters.
A lot. Listen to the sentence around the word. If the speaker is giving a sequence, you probably need then. If the speaker is comparing two things, you probably need than.
Meaning first again.
Always. SFX, short futuristic warning beep.
Safety goggles on, let us fix some mistakes.
Crash number 1. The traffic was such terrible today.
Terrible is an adjective, and there is no noun phrase after such. I would say, the traffic was so terrible today.
Perfect. Could you make a natural such sentence with the same idea?
It was such a terrible day for traffic.
Excellent. Notice that this is more natural than forcing such a terrible traffic day.
Natural English wins.
Crash number 2. We had so beautiful weather on our vacation.
Beautiful weather is a noun phrase. I need such. We had such beautiful weather on our vacation.
Exactly.
And I do not use a because weather is uncountable.
Correct. Crash number 3. First, I will finish this report. Then I will send it to the CEO.
That is sequence. First, I will finish this report. Then I will send it to the CEO.
Good. Crash number 4. This coffee is much hotter than the one I had yesterday.
Comparison. This coffee is much hotter than the one I had yesterday.
Exactly.
Give me something harder.
There were such many people at the conference that we could not find a seat.
I know this one. The chunk is so many, not such many. There were so many people at the conference that we could not find a seat.
Perfect.
Another one.
It was so useful information that I saved the email.
Useful information is a noun phrase, so it was such useful information that I saved the email.
Excellent.
Could I also say, the information was so useful that I saved the email?
Exactly. Same idea, different structure.
I like that pair. It shows the real difference.
Here is another. She finished the presentation, then she answered questions.
Sequence. She finished the presentation, then she answered questions.
Good. Now, the presentation was shorter than I expected.
Comparison. The presentation was shorter than I expected.
Perfect.
Before the role play, can we collect the patterns that do not fit the simplest rule perfectly?
Yes. First, so much, so many, so little, so few.
We had so much fun.
There were so many questions.
We have so little time.
There are so few seats left.
Got it.
Second, such as. This means, for example.
I enjoy outdoor activities such as hiking and cycling.
Exactly. Do not confuse this with the so versus such intensifier pattern. Such as is its own useful expression.
Third, rather than.
Right. I would rather call than send a long email. Than is correct because we are comparing two choices.
Fourth, so that.
Careful. There are two different structures learners sometimes mix up. The room was so quiet that I could hear the clock. Uses so plus adjective plus that to show a result. But I spoke slowly so that everyone could understand me. Uses so, that to express purpose.
Same two words, different job.
Exactly. Context and structure tell you which meaning you have.
That is useful because I hear so that all the time.
One more point. In formal English, there are some less common structures, such as so difficult a problem. You do not need that structure for everyday conversation. For clear, natural spoken English, use such a difficult problem or the problem is so difficult.
Good. I would rather master the common patterns first than collect rare grammar structures.
And you just used fan correctly.
I did not even notice.
Time for the real-world challenge. You are the marketing manager presenting quarterly campaign results. I am the client. Use so, such, then, and than naturally. No grammar explanations inside the role play.
Ready.
Thanks for joining us. Can you walk me through the performance of the new campaign?
Absolutely. The initial response was so positive that our team had to increase customer support on the first day. It was such a strong launch that we reached our first week target in less than 48 hours.
That is impressive. What happened after the launch?
First, we released the teaser videos. Then we started the influencer campaign. After that, we launched the main video ad and sent the email campaign to existing customers.
How did those results compare with the previous campaign?
The new campaign generated more leads than the previous one, and the cost per lead was lower than we expected.
What do you think made the difference?
The message was much clearer. We also had so much useful customer feedback from the previous campaign that we knew exactly which problems to address.
And how do the results compare with Apex Media, our main competitor?
Based on the public data we have, our engagement rate is higher than theirs. We also generated so many qualified leads this week that the sales team has added extra follow-up sessions.
Were there any problems?
Yes, we had such heavy traffic on the website that one page became slow for about 20 minutes. The technical team fixed it quickly. Then we monitored the site for the rest of the day.
What would you change next time?
I would prepare more server capacity before the launch. The campaign moved faster than we predicted, so I would rather prepare for unusually high traffic than react after the site slows down.
Good. And what is the next step?
We will review the sales data on Friday. Then we will decide whether to increase the budget for the second phase.
Excellent. That was clear, natural, and professional.
I did not think about grammar rules one by one. I just saw the pictures: highlighter, label, clock, scale.
That is the goal. The pictures are memory tools. The grammar still matters, but the image helps you retrieve the right structure faster.
Can we do a more casual example too? I do not want people to think these words belong only in business English.
Good idea. Imagine two friends talking after a weekend trip.
I will start. The beach was so beautiful.
Really? Was it crowded?
Not at all. We found such a quiet little beach that we stayed there almost the whole day.
Nice. What did you do after that?
We swam for a while. Then we walked to a small restaurant near the water.
Was the food good?
It was so good that we went back the next night.
Better than the restaurants near your hotel?
Much better than those. And the owner was such a friendly person. He gave us so much local advice that we changed our plans for the next day.
What did you do then?
We rented bikes, then we rode to a village about 10 miles away.
Excellent. One short conversation, all 4 words, completely natural.
And now I can hear the difference. Then moved the story forward. Then compared things. So highlighted descriptions and quantities. Such introduced noun phrases.
Exactly. Let us train your ear. I will read a sentence with a blank. Say the missing word aloud before Rosie answers.
Listeners, give yourself 1 second each time.
The hotel was blank comfortable that we stayed an extra night.
So, the hotel was so comfortable that we stayed an extra night.
It was blank, a comfortable hotel that we stayed an extra night.
Such. It was such a comfortable hotel that we stayed an extra night.
We checked in, blank. We went straight to the beach.
Then.
The beach was quieter, blank, the one near our apartment.
Than.
There were blank many restaurants that choosing one took forever.
So many restaurants.
She gave us blank helpful advice.
Such helpful advice.
I would rather walk blank, take a taxi.
Than.
Finish your coffee, blank, we can leave.
Then.
Excellent. Now, one final active drill. I will give you an idea, not a sentence. Build the English yourself.
I am ready.
Idea 1. The room was extremely noisy, and you could not concentrate.
The room was so noisy that I could not concentrate.
Great. Idea 2. It was an extremely noisy room, and you could not concentrate.
It was such a noisy room that I could not concentrate.
Idea 3. You finished breakfast. After that, you left for work.
I finished breakfast, then I left for work.
Idea 4. Today is colder compared with yesterday.
Today is colder than yesterday.
Idea 5. There was a very large amount of traffic.
There was so much traffic.
Idea 6. Your coworker gave you extremely helpful advice.
My coworker gave me such helpful advice.
Excellent. When you can build the sentence from the idea, instead of only recognizing the correct answer, the grammar is becoming active.
Before the recap, can we practice how these words sound in real speech?
Absolutely. So and such are usually easy to hear because they have very different sounds. The bigger listening challenge is then and than.
Let us practice them in short chunks.
Repeat after me. And then.
And then,
First this, then that.
first this, then that.
Better than.
Better than.
Faster than.
Faster than.
In fast American speech, than is often unstressed, so it may sound weaker than you expect. Do not depend only on the vowel sound. Listen to the grammar around it.
Comparative word before it? Probably than.
Exactly. Bigger than. More useful than. Less expensive than.
Sequence or time? Probably then.
And then. Back then. Until then. Then we left.
Learning chunks makes listening easier.
And speaking easier too. Let us lock in the 4 pictures.
Capsule 1. So equals the highlighter.
Use so mainly before adjectives and adverbs. So funny, so difficult, so quickly. Also, learn the quantity chunks. So much, so many, so little, and so few.
Capsule 2. Such equals the noun phrase label.
Such a funny movie. Such helpful people. Such useful information. With a singular countable noun, use such a or such an.
Capsule 3. Then equals the clock or the next step.
Use then for sequence, time, and related next steps. We finished dinner, then we left.
Capsule 4. Than equals the comparison scale.
Use than when you compare. Better than, faster than, more expensive than, rather than.
And 2 useful result patterns. The movie was so funny that I watched it twice. It was such a funny movie that I watched it twice.
Perfect.
Can we repair my email now?
Read the original again.
The lunch was such good, and our campaign is stronger than theirs.
Fix it.
The lunch was so good, and our campaign is stronger than theirs.
Excellent. Or, if you want a slightly more professional version, we had such a productive lunch, and our campaign is performing better than theirs.
That sounds much more professional. And no grammar emergency.
Exactly.
Here is your challenge. Create 4 short sentences about your real life.
Sentence 1. Use so plus an adjective or adverb.
For example, my morning was so busy.
Sentence 2. Use such with a noun phrase.
It was such a busy morning.
Sentence 3. Use then for a sequence.
I finished work, then I went to the gym.
Sentence 4. Use than for a comparison.
Today was busier than yesterday.
Say all 4 sentences aloud. Then, try to connect 2 of them into one short story.
And if you want extra practice, write one pair that expresses the same idea with so and such. For example, the restaurant was so expensive. It was such an expensive restaurant.
That is one of the fastest ways to make the structure automatic.
If this lesson helped you, share your 4 sentences in the comments. We would love to see how you use the patterns in your own life.
And subscribe to Slow English Podcast for more practical lessons that help you understand English and actually use it.
Highlighter, label, clock, scale.
So, such, then, than.
4 tiny words. 4 completely different jobs.
See the job, choose the word, and keep speaking.
See you in the next lesson. Bye!
Bye for now.